NFL fans, welcome back to another episode of the J All Day Sports Show. I appreciate you all tuning in. And today I want to talk to you guys about the Philadelphia Eagles. Not so much about the team, but about the general manager and how Howie Roseman is a complete and utter fraud. That's right, I said it. He's a fraud. I'm going to get into the details in a little bit, but I just want to first talk to you guys about, okay, he's great at manipulating the cap. Anyone can learn how to do that. Any lawyer, any strategist can just look at the way the language is kind of laid out for us, and we can interpret it and manipulate it to our advantage. It takes a little bit of skill to do that. The real GMs can identify talent, and Howie Roseman cannot identify talent at all whatsoever. Anyone can go sign A.J. Brown. My 13-year-old daughter can look at the tape of A.J. Brown and be like, hey, Dad, he's a really good player. He would be good on the Eagles. It takes no talent to bring talented players into your organization. Talent is when you see a guy like Puka Nacua in the 5th round and you draft. When you don't pass up on Justin Jefferson, those things help you build winning teams that are not only good for 1 year, but can span 5, 10, 12 years, right? The Eagles are running through coaches. They're running through personnel. And where is this identity of this team? Howie Roseman has consistently drafted bums. And I'm going to show you just how unbelievably horrible Howie Roseman and his team has been at drafting players at the NFL level. Let's get into it. I've been a fan and covering the Eagles for a long time now. I'm a former writer for Bleacher Report, and since I've covered the Eagles over the last decade, there's been one thing that has been consistent over time with Howie Roseman. He cannot identify talent at all whatsoever. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all the drafts since 2014, and we'll let you guys decide, am I crazy or am I just hitting the nail on the head? Jeffrey Lurie is loyal to a fault, and it's holding this organization back. If I were Jeffrey Lurie, I would not only fire Nick Sirianni at the end of the season, I would fire Howie Roseman and bring in a new form of leadership, right? Howie Roseman has been abysmal at drafting. Unbelievably horrible. You could literally close your eyes and throw darts at a dartboard and be more successful drafting NFL players than Howie Roseman has been in the last decade. And it's unbelievably horrible. Check out your screen right now, guys. We're going to start with the 2014 draft. And it is an absolute dumpster fire. Marcus Smith, one of the biggest busts of all time. Red. Jordan Matthews. I'm going to put him as blue because he had a couple good seasons, right? He wasn't too bad. Huff. Nothing. Zero contributions to this Eagles team at all whatsoever. Absolute zero. Watkins. Another complete and utter failure. Hart. Failure. Reynolds. He played a little bit for the Eagles. Failure. Bo Allen. He played for a few years, then got shipped out. Failure. What an absolute horrible draft in 2014. Horrible. And somehow in 2015 it gets even worse. I don't even know who this is. Brian Mihalik. Did he ever even play for the Eagles? Failure. Randall Evans. Failure. Just failures after failures after failures after failures after failures. This is an absolute joke. Ja'Cory Shepard, 6th round pick. Bum. Jordan Hicks. He only played his one contract and then he left town. When you draft players, and he had a really good career, he's already better than any linebacker the Eagles still have. And this was back in 2015, and the guy's still playing. Still playing. I want to call this a failure because he's gone. Eric Rowe, another guy the Eagles got rid of that went on and had success elsewhere. Aguilar has been a complete and utter dumpster fire. He is trash. So we have These are only half grades. 1.5 good players, 2 years of the draft. Let's move on to 2016. Joe Walker, bum. McAllister, bum. Jalen Mills, a guy who played a little bit for the Eagles, but he contributed to the Super Bowl team, but not a real good player. But he's a 7th round pick, so we'll go blue there. Blake Countess, bum. You guys starting to see a pattern here? Vaitai, not a good player. Bum. Wendell Smallwood, 5th round pick. Bum. Isaac Seumalo, he's had a pretty good career with the Eagles, and he's moved on. He's with Pittsburgh now. I like him. Carson Wentz, absolute, utter failure as a number 1 pick. Trash. Trash. Look at all these. No one's on the team anymore. No one's on the team anymore. Let's move on to 2017. Another draft. I'm just going this whole thing red. Absolutely horrible. You might as well not even have drafted Howie Roseman. What a dumpster fire, man. Rasul Douglas has went on, and Matt Collins are playing elsewhere, but they're not good players. 2017, you might as well let my daughter draft in 2017. It would have turned out better than this draft. Next draft. Mulata was a good pick, but that's more Jeff Stoutland than anything. We got our first good pick in Jordan Mulata. Prior, Sweat has been a bust. They paid him all that money. He's contributing nothing to this roster. Absolutely nothing. He had what? 1 good year, and then they paid him all this money to suck at football? I like Dallas Goedert. He's been a good player. Solid pick. Avonte Maddox, I can't stomach watching him play for the Eagles anymore. He needs to go. He sucks. Josh Sweat, he's a bust. And they paid him another contract, and he's been awful. He has been absolutely terrible. This draft, 2019, might be the worst one yet. Andre Dillard, bust. Miles Sanders played for 1 contract. He got shipped out of town. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside is horrible at football. They drafted him over DK Metcalf. Stick a dagger in my heart, Howie Roseman. What the hell are you doing? Another whole year. You might as well let my daughter draft the team. Oh my God. Guys are getting paid for this? Guys are getting paid? Oh my God. 2020, just as bad. Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson. What? Oh my fucking God, Howie Roseman. Jalen Hurts, to be determined. He gets a blue. All these late round picks, they couldn't be any worse. They could not be any worse. Look at all these bums. Davion Taylor, 3rd round pick, bum. Kavon Wallace, 4th round pick, bum. Oh my God. What an absolute dumpster fire, right? All right, now we're back in 2021. Devontae Smith is a great pick. But it takes no skill to draft the best wide receiver on the board in the 1st round. It takes no skill at all to do that. I like that pick, but a 5-year-old could have made that pick. Landon Dickerson, another good pick. I like this pick. The rest of the draft, a bunch of bums. Look at all these picks that are just wasted. Waste. 2021, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round picks. You might as well not even draft. What are we even doing this for? Just trade all the picks for a player that can actually play in the NFL. 2022, it doesn't get much better. I like Cam Jurgens. He's a starter. Give him a green. Grant Caltera, Kyron Johnson, Nakobe Dean. Nakobe Dean sucks at football, dude. Their whole linebacker core is a bunch of bums. Jordan Davis, 1st round, bust. Bust. All right, let's move on to 2023. Jalen Carter, an absolute stud. Nolan Smith, bust. Tyler Steen, I actually like what he's been doing so far. We'll put him as a blue. Undecided yet. Sidney Brown, Ringo, Tanner McKee, non-contributors to the roster, a bunch of freaking bums. And then, obviously, 2024, we have to see how this plays out. We can't tell yet. But it looks like Hunt, he's not contributing at all whatsoever. Anais Smith looks like a dumpster fire all preseason long. Jeremiah Trotter can't even get on the field with the worst linebacking crew in the NFL. That says a lot. Dylan McMahon, a pick. They put him on the practice squad, and the Rams took him away. I'm going to lose my mind because Howie Roseman is not only the most overrated general manager in the NFL, he's actually horrible at his job. Sure, he can manipulate the cap a little bit, but anyone can trade for really good players. It takes no skill to do that. Oh, you don't want A.J. Brown on your team anymore? I'll give you some draft picks. It takes no skill to do that. Howie Roseman is an abomination, and he's holding this Eagles franchise back. He's one of the biggest problems, and nobody's talking about it. Howie Roseman, you're a joke, dude. I hope somehow, some way, this video gets to your door because I want a rebuttal from you. Explain yourself. Explain this draft. What's one common theme out of all these picks? It looks like a whole lot of red, a whole bunch of players not contributing to the Philadelphia Eagles organization because guess what, Howie Roseman? You can't identify talent. That's why these GM number pushers who never played one down of football don't work because this guy sucks at his job. He doesn't know how to identify talent. He wouldn't know a good football player if they punched him in the face. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Howie Roseman, I hope you're fired. You can take Nick Sirianni with you. Peace out.